What's up everyone, and welcome to another cryptocurrency market update. In these videos, you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies and also see where we are looking to buy and sell these crypto assets ourselves. So let's get into it here with Bitcoin on the monthly time frame, and then we'll dive into the ETH BTC chart, which is something that we haven't looked at on this channel yet, but I think it's very interesting and important to look at today, and we'll see why in just a few moments. So if we start off with Bitcoin on the monthly time frame here, there's a couple things to note. One, we had this parabolic uprise and we had really no bearish candles besides these long upper wick candles here until this last monthly candle just printed yesterday. Now we had this increase in bear volume, above average bear volume, meaning people were selling here. The important thing to keep in mind is this candle does not become valid as being a bearish candle unless we break the monthly low of that candle, which is down at 47K. So unless we go all the way down to 47K, we're not in a bad position in terms of being a bull right now on Bitcoin. And so the monthly resistance level that we have here is the 63.2 level. Above that is right up here at about 80K. So let's go to the weekly time frame and look at why I recently just bought some Bitcoin myself. The reason for that is because if we look at these two lows right here, you can see that this low is higher than this low. And the RSI is telling us that this is a lower low. Obviously it's not, and so this is what we would call a hidden bullish divergence. So this is when the RSI makes a lower low, but the price is making a higher low. So once we broke the high of this previous weekly candle this week, this weekly hidden bullish divergence got confirmed, and that is where I entered I entered a Bitcoin long, targeting at least the R3, if not the R4 pivot up here. So this gives us a lot of confidence that we probably won't go down to the 47K level if on the daily time frame, we can change the daily trend and confirm this. So this is the current trade that I'm looking at taking, and this is with the trend changing here on Bitcoin. So you can see that we had this extended drawdown here of about 2 weeks of just drawdown without one lower high. Until right here, we bottomed on April 25th. We came up. We formed our lower high like we talked about doing on this channel. We knew that it was very likely, given the size of the drawdown, that it's likely we're going to have to set a lower high before trying to go for a new all-time high. And so we came up, we did just that. We came down. Right here, we formed a higher low in comparison to this one. And then yesterday, we had this really nice bullish long-bodied candle here. And now today, you can see that this candle is looking kind of bearish. And so there's a couple things to note about this. So the first thing is, whenever we're looking for a trend change, we're always looking for 2 candle closes, not just one, above the key high on a bullish trend or on a bearish trend. Let's see if we can find a bearish trend right here. We're looking for 2 candle closes below a key low to signify a bearish trend. Because what can happen sometimes is it can look like, right here's a perfect example of this. It looks like this is a bear trend right here with a high, low, lower high, and then lower low with this candle closing below this low. But then you can see what the next candle does. The next candle closes way back inside this kind of range and above this low. So now this is not a valid bear trend. And you can see I actually went long here, and I talked about doing that on the channel and had a nice 16% gain off of that move. So if you were reading the trend as waiting for one candle close below the key low, you would have been stopped out right here on this candle most likely, and then subsequently, probably missed this rise in price. And so whenever we're looking for a trend change, we're always looking for 2 candle closes at least above a key high or below a key low to signify the trend is actually valid. So we haven't actually changed this daily trend to be bullish just yet. Today's candle is going to have to close above this key high up at about 56,600. And so if we do that, the levels that I will be looking the level rather that I'll be looking to buy at is this black candle down here. And that's this last area where people were selling their Bitcoin before this rise in price. So what that the reason why that should be a very strong support zone for price is because people were selling down here. So now if they get an opportunity, once we go down to this level again, they should probably be buying it back because now they know we're in a valid bullish daily trend. So that's going to be where I'm going to be looking to buying, and then where I'm looking to buy, and then I'll put my stop loss below the low of that candle down at about 52,369. And it would not surprise me if we did go down to that level. I'm not really worried about missing this move as I already have some exposure to Bitcoin. And so if we don't end up going down all the way to that blue level, before continuing to rise, that's okay with me. I am going to wait for this one to play out before I do anything. This is the main resistance level that we're currently running into. You can see that if I move this out of the way, you can see we had hit this, came down, but then had this really bullish 2-day candle where we closed above the previous 2-day high here. So we came down and came back up in the span of about 2 to 3 days. And so that's very convincing if you're a Bitcoin bull. A couple other things to note in terms of the Bitcoin price action. If you look at the Ichimoku cloud, the risk if we go below this zone, if we close above this high and we go down, here's a scenario for you. If we close above this high and then we go down and close 2 candles below this black candle and we retest that level, I am going to go bazooka short. Meaning I am going to short the living hell out of that, because then this is going to do an edge-to-edge trade. So on the Ichimoku cloud, each side of the cloud represents a very strong support or resistance level. If you close inside of that zone, right here we kind of got a fake out where it looked like we might get it, and then we obviously closed back above it here. If we do go back inside of it again a second time, I would imagine that that would be pretty bearish, and we end up coming up into this level if we close 2 candles below it, come up into it, and then go down to the bottom of the cloud down here. If we don't, the other thing is, the other thing is, if we look at the Tenkin and the Kijun, you can see they're tightening up, but they haven't crossed bearish. And so as long as they don't cross bearish, we're in good position, as a bull. And we're not worried about the trend changing. You can see the Tenkin, the blue line, has been above the red line since all the way back, in September. So this trend has continued for quite some time. Now, if these cross bearish, that is a bearish sign if you're a cloud trader, and that would be where you would exit your long from this crazy trend that you rode up. But they haven't done that just yet, and so we'll see what ends up happening over the next couple days. But this is the current entry that I'm looking at. It's got a great risk to reward if we trade this up to the R1 pivot up here, which is right at about 66.3. It's about 20% profit potential there if I get both of these bids filled, one at the top of the wick and then one at the body of the candle. That would be a very good trade. I would very much appreciate that. And the risk reward, like I said, very good here with 4.14, meaning that I'll make 4.14 times the amount of money if the trade goes my way than if the trade did not go my way and I got stopped out of the trade. The other thing to note real quick on the daily, and then we'll go to the lower term time frames, and then we'll go to ETH BTC, is this pivot level right here. So you can see the daily pivot level just got printed after we closed this daily candle, and this is right around 56,600. So right around 56,600 is the pivot level, the daily pivot. So that might be a level to watch for a potential bounce as well. If we go to lower term time frames, 12-hour time frames already looking pretty good in terms of bullish continuation. You can see that we have a bullish trend right here with a low, high, higher low, and then higher high with 2 candle closes above this high. So that makes this black candle already a valid support zone. We also have this gray 12-hour zone right here, which is also a valid support zone currently. And this is from our bear trend here, where we had our low, high, high, low, lower high, lower low. Once we got that, you can see when the price came into this level, it tried to go above it, but it had to, it went above it for a second, but it didn't close above it. And then it came down and went below it just for a second before eventually going and closing above it. So now that it's closed above it, this will act as an SR flip zone, and you have an option of longing that as well on the 12-hour time frame. But I'm currently waiting for the daily trend because I think it's a more high probability trade if we can get this daily candle to close above this key high. 4-hour time frame, not too much going on here. We are running into this gray zone right now and rejecting off of that. That's actually from the 8-hour time frame, and this is actually a level that we talked about longing on our Telegram channel. And if you're not a part of our Telegram channel, you can join that in the description below using that link, the Lutheria Community Telegram channel. You can see it's this white candle from back here on April 6th. This acted as a very good support level here for a nice run up in price. And now you can see that we went into this level and we're having a little rejection off of it so far. So we'll see what ends up happening on Bitcoin. Let's go over to ETH BTC. So ETH BTC, very interesting here. You can see that we're kind of gradually gaining strength here on this rise in price, which is very good if you are an Ethereum bull, because this pairing, the Ethereum to Bitcoin pairing, if you're not familiar with this, this is basically saying when this is going up, Ethereum is more bullish than Bitcoin. And when this is going down, like it was here, Bitcoin is more bullish than Ethereum. So right now you can see that this last monthly candle was a very convincing long-bodied monthly candle in the bull's favor with increasing bull volume here. Very good for continuation, and you can see that already today in the span of the day we've already appreciated, or since this monthly candle closed rather, we've already appreciated about 5% from there. So that's really good news for the Ethereum bulls, and Ethereum's up at about 2,900 right now, so it's doing really, really well. The main monthly resistance level for this is right up here, and this is from May 2018 actually, a while ago, but this is our main resistance level, and this is up here at about 706. And so this level probably will end up holding on the first test, I would imagine, because if we rise all the way into this over the next coming months, we'll have risen very far from the bottom, and this level it'll be the first test of this monthly level where we had our bear trend here before the breakdown. So if we go to the weekly time frame, this is very, very interesting to me, and this is why we're looking at this chart right now. So there's a couple things, and I'll show you the Ichimoku cloud in a second, but you can see if you're looking at price action, just price action, you can see what happened here. We had a lot of volatility, we came down, and then price was relatively flat. And the way you can tell it's relatively flat is simply by taking a rectangle and doing this. And you can see, if you can draw a rectangle and all of the price action for, over, this is like 2 years of consolidation. It started in September 2018 and lasted until April of 2021. So this is a very long period of consolidation. So what this means is this can be seen as what's called accumulation. So accumulation is where people are buying the underlying asset. And so in this case, if this is the Ethereum to Bitcoin pairing, this means that people are buying Ethereum. So that means that Ethereum's price action, or that means Ethereum whales, big players in the market, have been buying Ethereum significantly in this range. And once you break out of this range, now it's, time to actually, for them to make money on their positions that they went long on. And so, there's a couple things to note about that. One, that means that Ethereum is probably looking really good for continuation up to at least 3,000, if not more, given that this is a very long range of accumulation, and this could easily go up to this level, if not above this level over time. If we can have a yearly, like a multi-month bull run on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, we'll see what we end up getting. But in terms of price action and entries and things like that, There's another thing to note about this, and this is it adds even more bullishness to this. You can see the Ichimoku cloud. This is incredibly bullish. This right here, this is massively bullish. And the reason for that is because the cloud right here, which you can only see started to form in July based on the data we have, flipped to bullish. It flipped to green. It's skinny. The Tenkan is above the Kijun. They're curling up. You can see they're starting to curl up here. And then price action is operating above the cloud. And so if this weekly candle closes outside of this cloud, that is very bullish in my opinion. And that is where I will just buy it, and I'm going to hold it until it stops looking bullish. Because when this happens, let's go to Bitcoin real quick, and I'm going to show you something. Let's go to the weekly time frame here. Okay. This isn't good enough. Hang on one second. Let's go to a different chart. Let's go to Coinbase. So if we look at Coinbase, we got just some nonsense over here. So if we look at Coinbase and we look at the Ichimoku cloud, here is that for Bitcoin. Here is that pattern right here. The cloud flips to bullish. It's green. It's skinny. Tenkan is above the Kijun. Price breaks above the cloud. This is the candle that we're currently on for the Ethereum to Bitcoin pairing. See the comparison? Oops, I'm sorry, the other one. See the comparison? They look almost the exact same. And what happened when that happened? Meteoric rise in price. Meteoric rise in price. New all-time highs for months. So this is important to watch. In my opinion, this is very, very important to watch. And the major resistance zone right now is this little white candle back here from July 2018. So that's our major resistance zone before the orange zone up here, which is up at about 0.07. This level is a level that is important to keep an eye on because we might end up rejecting off of this initially. But once we go above this level and close 2 weekly candles above this, that's when you look to long that level. So there's a couple ways you can play this. One way you can play this is you can say, I'm just going to buy now and I'm just going to hold this. And, you know, that's one way to do things. And obviously everything on this channel is for educational purposes only, is not financial advice. But the way that I like to play something like this is I like to look for an entry on a lower term time frame. So on the daily time frame, one of the things that I think could end up happening here is we could end up seeing, we're already trending bullish on the daily time frame. But what we want to see, besides this dark blue level, which is our support level that we almost bounced off of, but we didn't quite get to it on this exchange at least, is we want to see this daily trend continue. So we want to see the daily close 2 candles above this key high right here, and then come back and test this black candle, which will end up probably being a support level if that ends up being the case. So that's the main level to watch there. But once the Tenkan and the Kijun get outside of the cloud and you're in weekly full bullish position for the Ichimoku cloud, we're off to the races. We're already beginning to be off to the races here after this long consolidation and accumulation period. But this is something to really watch because this could be a really, really profitable trade long term, and something that, you know, you could just buy and pretty much passively hold, which is what I'm currently doing now. I don't know if I'm really going to trade this. This zone here, I might take some profits here. But I'm even weary to do that because I don't want to miss this crazy rise if we just continue to, you know, rapidly increase. The thing is, we're getting close to weekly overbought conditions here. And so if we do end up coming up in this orange zone in the next day and 8 hours, I guess I'll just see how the weekly candle closes, and then I'll make a decision from there. But that's all I got for this one, guys. If you like this video, give it a like down below and subscribe for future educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain. Blockchain, I don't even remember what I just said, but Subscribe for future updates on educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. That's what I was trying to say. Also, we just released our beginner technical analysis course on lutheria.com. If you like these types of videos, you will love that course. It's fantastic to get you started trading cryptocurrency and investing into it intelligently, and you'll learn everything from market structure and trends to volume and technical indicators and much, much more. And so I encourage you to check that out. There's a link for that in the description below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Onward and upward.